Hi everyone, I'm Anuja. I'm from Legal Edge and I welcome you all to the second part of the video, which is called Reading Codes. If you're here, chances are that you were there when I discussed part A with you, and what fun it was. At least for me, we discussed some very famous quotes on the topic of reading from some very famous people, but we didn't talk about those people. We talked about the thought that was contained in that quote. And the intention was very pure and simple. The intention was to motivate you to start reading, to give you very good reasons why you should read. And that is exactly what I wish to do today as well. So let's go for it. I have some very beautiful quotes for you, again from some very famous people. If you want, you can go for some further research, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot. So let's get started with my first reading quote for the day. So, what are they saying? They're saying that let's be reasonable and add an eighth day to the week that is devoted exclusively to reading. All the bibliophiles out there, I hope and I know that you feel this way. At least I do some days especially when I am at the thick of it, and there is this particular phase where I just want to keep reading. I do not want anything to come in between, because many a times if you stop reading and have some other activity in between, it somehow dilutes the experience. The experience is never exactly the same. So let's be reasonable. That's not at all being unreasonable. It's a very practical demand that we should have a complete day to the week which is devoted exclusively to reading. Now, I know that this is not possible, of course, but the idea behind it is that reading is so rewarding that we must make sure that some part of every day consistently goes towards this very activity. I know it is not the most popular one around these days, but this is what is most rewarding. So definitely go for it. Here is my second favorite reading code. Have books happened to you? The keyword here, which you should pay attention to, is happened. Have they happened to you? Because all the book lovers out there will tell you that this is how it happens. It is like true love. You just stumble upon it. It happens to you by chance. It's not something that you plan, it happens to you. Unless your answer is yes, I don't know what to talk to you, because this person, who is himself a very fond lover of books, is not very sure what kind of person you would be, what kind of experience you would have if you say that no, I don't read. It doesn't really matter what you are reading, at least in the beginning, because once you have started, I'm sure you would more move toward things which are more esoteric in nature. But you need to get started. And sometimes when students ask me, how can I do that? I ask them, okay, what do you like watching? Whatever you like watching, there are books on the same topic. So you can keep the topic same, which is already of your interest, but instead of watching a video or a movie, you can go for a few pages, right? So let's do that and make sure that books happen to you. All right. Here is my third reading quote, and very meaningful. It says, no two persons read the same book. But you'll wonder why. I mean, if I have read the same book, it's Atomic Habits, let's say, and I've recommended it to you, so you're also reading the same book, isn't it? No. My interpretation, my learning from the book is going to be different from your interpretation and your learnings from the book, and hence, no two people ever read the same book. And that is why it is always a novel experience. And there is so much that you learn just by indulging in the process. You're not the same person who started the process. The person who started the book and the person who's ending the book are two different people. And I'm sure you want to have that kind of experience soon. Fourth one. Reading gives us some place to be, to go when we have to stay where we are. How true. This one is particularly true in these uncertain times, in the times of pandemic, when we can't actually go out, when we can't travel. And that's where books come to your rescue. They give you some place to go when you have to stay where you are. You can't really go anywhere. You can just go for armchair travel. These days, I'm reading a lot of travel logs. I am going through various places of Europe. I'm going down under Australia in my book. So this is the beautiful thing, most beautiful thing about reading. It takes you places without you actually ever leaving your spot. You know, you have read a good book when you turn the last page and feel a little exhausted, and the feeling is like as if you have lost a friend. Has this ever happened to you? Because I think this is something that will make more sense if you have felt it. Then you're going to feel this way. Sometimes I felt this. I categorically remember when I was going through the Harry Potter series. I do not want to give any spoilers here, but towards the end, a lot of things happened to the characters I felt really genuinely close to, and I was not ready to lose them at any cost. Some books you want to savor and you do not want them to end. That was one such series. It has happened with a lot of TV shows as well, but then today we are not talking about TV shows. The purpose is to get you oriented towards reading because that's not just going to give you a very meaningful hobby, but it's also going to be very useful as far as CLAT examination is concerned, which is now completely about reading. And readers do have an edge. A person who won't read has no advantage over one who cannot read. Please pay attention to this. A person who won't read is no better than a person who can't read. Aren't you wasting your education by not reading? You can read. You are privileged. And if you're not realizing that privilege, then you're wasting it. So just do not be this person. If you can read, do read. Doesn't matter what you start with. Just make sure that you want to keep expanding your wings. You want to keep trying new things. That's the whole idea of it. Next one. You're a reader and therefore a thinker, an observer, a living soul who wants more out of this human experience. I really feel so. I truly, deeply believe in this, although I have not written any of these. They should be in double inverted commas. But that's what happens. When you start reading, you start thinking, you observe tiny details, and there are some authors, I'm telling you, for example, Jhumpa Lahiri, she's very good with her descriptive powers. So they observe everything and then they let you know about all those things. And that is why you feel so much involved in the process. It's not just this life, but it's so many other experiences that you are going through while reading. So, yes, it definitely brings you on a different level. It's what you read when you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it. For most of us, when you don't have to, I don't read, right? That's the reality. That's the honest one true reply. When I don't have to, I don't read. But what kind of hobbies are you indulging in when you don't need to? What kind of choices you have? They are going to decide your course of life. So make sure, especially at this point in your life, everybody keeps saying this to you, and by this time it must sound cliche, but this is the truth. So I can't help but repeat, this is a very beautiful and important phase of your life. What you choose to do today is going to have a long lasting impact on your entire career and personal life. So make sure that you read the right kind of things. If you're looking for recommendations, check out our book talk series, check out the book recommendations PDF that I've created for you, and there are some excellent recommendations there. Let's go for the next one. I think it's the books that you read when you are young that live with you forever, right? That's what I was telling you, what you do right now. Not just the books that you read, but the kind of friends you make, the experiences that you have. They're going to stay with you forever and they are going to leave an indelible mark on your memory. And of course, you want them to be productive, you want them to be helpful. So be a bit choosy, be a bit sensible, take your decisions, keeping long term vision in mind. That's what I'll request you and suggest you to do. Once you learn to read, you will be forever free because that's the power of literacy, that's the power of education. When you can read and you do read, then you realize the amount of power you have because reading is knowledge and knowledge is power. So, yes, of course, we want to be liberated. We don't want to be chained. So, yes, we have to begin reading. I hope you observed that the background of all my quotes were beautiful, cozy reading nooks, and that was by design. I wanted to tempt you a little. I hope that worked. You are a bit excited to create a beautiful corner, reading corner for yourself, a space which is just for you and your books. I would be all ears to hear about your reading experiences. Do get in touch with us. These are our details. And if there is anything else that we can help you with, if there is any topic that you'd like us to make a video on or talk to you about, do let us know. Thank you so much for being patient throughout. I hope it was helpful. See you again very soon. Bye bye.